What's up, guys? This is Steve O Reacts to the Internet, and today I'm going to be reacting to The Color Purple. And I'm actually just getting back, so I wanted to go ahead and put my thoughts on uh, on the record. So what we're going to talk about is my thoughts about the movie. Basically, I will be coming from a professional standpoint on one end because I've been a uh, professional producer for many years now, somewhere between about 20 years. And then I've been a avid movie watcher, so I will kind of be putting those opinions together to give you what I think about the movie. Basically, so I'm just getting back, and where do we start with this movie? Uh, Firstly, I know that we understand that the movie cost, including marketing, is going to cost about $150 million, and as you can see on the thumbnail, it is heavily overpriced. This movie should have been shot for 50 million at best, I think, just for shooting the movie, and all the costs, including actors, was 100 million. I didn't see anything elaborate about the sets or anything like that. So I'm just wondering, where did $100 million go? Uh, I mean, who had their hands in the honey pot where they got $20 million off top, and then we hear about Taraji P Henson, who's complaining about the money, saying that she almost had to walk away from the project because of money. And then they didn't have, where the hell did they didn't have trailers? I don't understand why the hell they didn't have trailers or cars and drivers. You spent $100 million on this movie. So I'm gonna kind of go through that and tell you what I think is going on. I think that today we're in a a sickening um, point in our American economy, where I think we're in extreme inflation. Um, People are charging things for services that should not be charged, and I think this is a function of what happened during the pandemic. Something happened during the pandemic, as far as our economy is concerned. I know that a lot of extra dollars came into flooded into the economy from PPP loans and other subsidies. However, I don't think it's gone back down yet, because this is crazy. I cannot see who the hell would pay $100 million for that movie. It's just it didn't seem like it was on too many locations. Even in the Africa scene, seemed like it was shot on the same beach as where the Georgia scene, or where they lived originally. So they did not change scenes for that. So I'm not sure what's going on here and why that movie would cost $100 million, but it ain't right. I'm just gonna tell you, that ain't right. So, um, paying $100 million for that, no, 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 no. So it was terribly overpriced. Again, I don't see why the actors um could not get all of the amenities that they need. Like, why wouldn't actors and actresses be getting food with a movie like this? Somebody overpaid for something. I don't know if this was a cash grab for, I don't know for who, but that something is terribly wrong here, because that movie should not have cost $100 million. Um, so it was definitely overpriced, and I think it was overpriced from inflation. Again, so let's talk about music now. eh, just in case you guys didn't know, I've been producing music and had some marginal placements in the music industry. So I kind of want to talk about the overproduction of the sound. Um, it kind of takes me out of the setting of the movie. And you musicians out there, you producers out there, know exactly what I'm talking about. So you have a speaking part of the movie where people are dialoguing with each other, and then there's this sound. You have to just know the sound. If you know music, you'll understand. There's a sound where the speaking part is shut off through a gate, and then the singing part starts. And nothing irks me worse than to hear that sound like you don't hear the rest of the setting. So it takes you out. It's like, if I had to put it in layman's terms, it's almost like um putting a video in the middle of a movie. So you stop hearing everything around it, and then you just hear like a studio mix. And that's just not good. That's just it's local. It's something we say around my parts. It's so local, and I don't see who paid for that. I'm sure that was included into the $100 million, and I don't know who paid for it. Who paid for that foolishness? It's just so unprofessional. Um, I hate to hear it. So let's talk about that's a little bit of technical parts about it. So let's talk about the writing, the music. The biggest part I had with this movie or this remake, and I wouldn't even call it a remake, because it was a musical. They turned it into more of a musical, and you guys know that. But the biggest part I had with it, it was it was a lot corny about it. It I would not give it I would not give it an A, and I would not give it an F or D. I would give it a C to B minus. And for this reason, it was a lot corny about it. Like, a lot of things just did not work for me. The camera angles, a lot of the speech dialogue, and I am getting sick of having to look at movies that's already been done, and they're being done worse. It's no point in redoing them if you can't bring something new to the IP. Uh, it's just not good. It was a lot not good with this movie. It was a lot not good with the musical writing. Um, the writing, the songs, I'm not sure. I realize, or I do know, that Quincy Jones was involved with this movie. Um this musical movie. So I'm not sure, and I know Quincy is getting up in age, so he probably pawned it off on, one of his underlings, one of his apprentices, or proteges. But it just wasn't good. It lacked soul. It lacked body, it lacked soul, it lacked, like, even the gospel parts. You guys that play gospel, and that's where I got my start. You guys that play gospel, you know that that stuff was not right. That stuff was not, it was incorrect. Somebody cosplaying gospel, to put it as succinct as I can. Uh I'm not a fan of this cosplay where you don't get the stuff authentic. A lot of the stuff just was not, um was just not good. Let's talk about some of the stuff I did like. I'm going to be honest with you. Taraji was excellent in this movie. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking for her not to be good for whatever reason. I just for some reason I thought that she wasn't going to be uh, up to par, but she was the best part of this movie. Her singing was a little uh her singing was and you producers, you studio engineers, you know our tricks. So we know what we got to do. It was a lot of Melodyne going on in this movie. Uh, and by the way, I want to say this. They also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, probably had Fantasia not sing up to her ability, um her best ability, like her stage ability, because like a lot of times she was singing along with Taraji. So you don't want to kind of show, you want them to be on equal grounds. But uh it was a lot of Melodyne being thrown around on these voices, along with these weird mixes, these weird instrument mixes, studio mixes. I can't stand it. A lot of these songs were they sounded like I don't know if you guys are familiar with the stage play and the movie Rent. A lot of that, I'm sick of that writing, that music writing. Y'all, you guys in Hollywood gotta cut that shit out because it sounds stupid. And every real musician out there who plays instruments and produce, we know that sounds crazy. It just sounds generic. Man, cut that shit out, bruh. Cut it out. It's ridiculous. Just sounds weirdo. Okay, so let me calm down a little bit. But it does sound weirdo. So but I love Taraji, and to my to my disappointment, her only sang like a stanza in the whole movie, and I was looking forward to her singing. As far as the acting, I felt like everybody was on par. Even David Allen Greer and the guy that actually played Mister. I was expecting him not to be good. Now he's no Danny Glover, but by the way, Louis Gossett Jr. played the granddad, which who's uh, no Caesar. I forget his last name, but he's no Caesar. So, uh, all in all, I give it a B minus, maybe a C plus. And most of that was because of the music. The music is just unbearable. Sounds so generic and ugh. Um, Last thing I wanted to talk about Fantasia. Fantasia Fantasia is a interesting actor and she's an interesting singer. If you watch the movie, Fantasia has a weird way of holding her mouth, and that was kind of bothering me. I think she did fine, for one of her first major debuts. I just think she has some things to work on. By watching this Fantasia version of Miss Silly, it made me appreciate Goldberg's version of Sealy so much more. Whoopi just had, it was something about the soul of it. It was just in, she played that part. So did Oprah. I missed Oprah's version of uh not Silly, but Miss Sophia. Yeah. So those that's pretty much gonna wrap up my thoughts about the movie. By the way, I just want to say it again. I don't know why those actresses and actors didn't get what they needed, but somebody's in a trick bag on this one. That was just ridiculous. So they should have had food coming out of the ground. They should have had limos dropping them off. I'm not saying that the movie didn't look good. I'm just saying I don't see $100 million worth of movie on that screen. I'm sorry. But that's those are my reactions. This has been Steve O Reacts to the Internet. You guys take care till next time.